off here.
Okay, let's do it.
If I can scroll.
David's the anchor, steady and true. Dana's the fire, igniting the view. Michelle's the laughter, lifting the sky. Together they're the podcast that'll never die. Breathe groove, it's the family beat. Three voices collide where the worlds meet. David, Dana, Michelle, a trio so tight, lighting up the airwaves every night.
Welcome, everybody, to the 111th most famous podcast in Vietnam. This is the Sibrev Podcast. I am your host, Dana, joined by my brother, David,
Hello.
and my sister, Michelle.
Hi.
And this is episode 29. And that is Cannoli. Cannoli has joined the pod.
Sorry.
Obligatory, how are you two this week?
Great.
Sure.
At least one of us is great.
I do want to give a shout out to my lovely wife. Vietnam has its own National Women's Day, which is on Monday. So I just wanted to wish her a happy Vietnamese Women's Day.
Yes.
Happy Vietnamese Women's Day, Hawaii.
Yes.
Dave's trying to preemptively get on his wife's good side because he knows after tonight's super hot relationship takes, my siblings are going to be in some hot water with their spouses probably.
Maybe. although I'm usually in hot water with my spouse already. So
No.
a little change in plans from what I had originally forecasted for the episode tonight. I didn't have time to edit all the clips I wanted to use, so ChatGPT sent me about 100 different super hot takes related to relationships that we're going to talk about tonight, and Dave and Michelle can debate, and I'll kind of steer the conversation.
Okay.
Sound good, everybody?
all right.
Yes.
All right. So, spicy relationship takes brought to you by ChatGPT. All right. Hot take number 1. You do not have to post on social media about your partner, your activities together, and the love you share to prove you care about them. Thoughts?
I would say that's true because I am married to a person that very rarely posts on social media. And if he does, it's about movies he's watched. It's not about me.
David?
I am in 100% agreement because I am somebody that does not often post on social media. Actually, going back to the earlier topic, my wife asked me to specifically post something sweet about her when Vietnamese Women's Day arrives. So that will be coming. But other than that, I really don't post much about, I posted like wedding pictures and stuff. But
Yeah.
day-to-day stuff, no, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I think every day is a lot. I don't mind, if he'll post like a, anniversary, birthday, something of that nature, I think that's fine. But I don't think it's telling of any kind that he doesn't. You know what I mean?
What about a new relationship? Because, the term Facebook official is actually a thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're going public.
Right. I think maybe when you're in a new relationship, I could see why you not posting might be a bit of a red flag because it's like, are you trying to hide me
Yeah.
from someone else? Are you, do you have multiple relationships going and you don't want the others to see? Yeah, that could be. I could see that being a bit of a red flag in the beginning of a relationship.
What
What do you
does
think about-
our moderator think
I agree with both of you. Like,
about our heated debate that we're so totally disagreeing on?
I am in complete agreement. I was curious what you two think about the people that have to constantly post about their partners. Do you think that's a sign of insecurity in some way?
They are overcompensating for something.
I disagree. I think it depends on their relationship. Some people like need that's maybe their I don't know, I don't want to say love language per se, but maybe that's how that person feels loved, so maybe their partner does it because they know it makes their partner feel good. I don't think it's I think sometimes yes it is that they're insecure about something, but I don't think that's always the case.
I would say I think if somebody is posting a lot about their spouse or their, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they're probably one of those people that posts everything about their lives on Facebook anyway, not just their relationship.
True. Yeah.
I think
What do you think?
I think ChatGPT thought it was a sign of insecurity because they asked me they threw a lot of very closely related hot takes out there. And
Oh.
since it was the one generating the hot takes, I think the AI thinks that's a sign of insecurity.
Do we have any listeners with us? What are their takes?
Caitlin said, but she hasn't posted a take, so maybe she's not really listening. She did type earlier that Hunter went to bed early, so he's not joining us tonight.
Oh,
But I'm sure he'll listen to us later, so hope you had a good sleep, Hunter.
yes. I'm not able to make you banana bread tomorrow. I'm sorry, the bananas aren't ready. Sorry. I tried.
All right, let's open on the next one. Couples that consistently celebrate small milestones like month anniversaries, renew their wedding vows yearly or bi-yearly, etc., are actually insecure about their relationship. Thoughts?
I don't know that it shows that they're insecure, but I just wonder why. I mean, the month anniversaries I get for the first year, but after that, there should be no more. We've been together 1 year, 1 month. We've been together 1 year, 2 months. I don't think that should be a thing. And renewing wedding vows yearly or bi-yearly is a lot. Like, why?
People have done it.
I know, but why?
Didn't Seal and Heidi Klum used to do that every year?
Well, that ended really well for them.
That's right. Case in point.
Yeah, I don't know that it means they're insecure. I just don't know why. David?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say they're insecure. I think the word I'd use would be irritating. Not insecure.
David, you seem like you have a no filter expression on today. Is this going to be are you just going to give it to us straight today? Not that you don't normally, but
I will give it to you straight today.
you seem a bit ho-hum today. Like you're not going to BS anyone at all today.
It's been one of those weeks.
Okay.
So,
Dana, Caitlin here says that she wants to renew vows on you and hers 20th as a celebration, and you do not agree.
it's only 3 years away.
I know.
That's a little early.
You don't want to?
I mean, is it I suppose I would like to do a renewal at some point so the kids can be a part of it. Maybe 25 years. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, like the
I always-
silver and gold, right?
I kind of always thought that if I was going to do it, I would surprise her with it. But
Oh. Caitlin, be ready.
when she least expects
Every
it,
year, be
all
ready.
of a sudden, there's a wedding renewal and she doesn't even know it's coming.
Yeah, but that's not fair because, like, the girl,
Yeah,
we have
that
to
is
look
not
good.
fair.
We have to have our hair done, our nails done.
I have
get
a whole,
the dress.
If I was going to do something like that, I would have a whole plan in place that it would be all taken care of.
Oh, okay. Because you got to think about that stuff. Because that's what we as girls think about is like, oh my God, I need to make sure that it's like a hair wash day or whatever. You know what I mean?
I'd bring her to the barber, have her head shaved, and and have someone take her to the thrift shop and get a dress.
Oh my God.
Joking, obviously, everybody. I'm joking. Yeah. Any more thoughts on that?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think of the people that do it every single month? I was guilty of this in high school.
Well,
It's a very high
yes,
school
I
thing to
think
do.
it is a very high school thing. And like I said, I think leading up to the first year, it's fine. But after that, there should be no more month anniversaries. That's it. They're done. You have hit the 12-month mark. There's no. It's like those people who are like, oh, how old are your kid? And they're like, oh, they're 14 and a half months. No, they're a year and 2 months, or they're a little over a year. Why do we count in months with toddlers? Why
Well,
do we do that?
For babies, it's different. For babies and toddlers, because there's milestones that they hit. Well, that you're trying to track them that they hit certain milestones. So I can understand with
I don't
like
like it.
babies and stuff.
I don't like it. I just never
Wow,
understand.
Shelly's shooting it straight to us today. She's saying David's shooting it straight. Here she is.
I know.
I just don't like it. Just say they're a little over,
Who
especially
gives
when
a
it's
crap if toddlers hit their milestones?
Oh, your baby walked. Good for him.
it's just like when they're like, "Oh yeah, they're 25 months." What? Why are we saying that a 2-year-old, you know, a 2 year and 1 month? Why? Just say a little over 2. Exactly, Caitlin. It's too much. It's too much.
Okay, super hot take number 3. You should never date someone that is in a different economic bracket than you, especially if you are the one that's better off. Taking on the financial liability of another will kill a relationship.
That is thought provoking, huh?
Isn't it?
David, you go first on this one.
Yeah. I think it depends because can you put it back up on the screen so I can
Yeah.
read it? Because the wording. So there's a difference here between dating somebody who's in a different economic bracket, and it's not the same thing as taking on financial liability of another person.
Well, it was in. This is how they phrased it. It was in the because it broke it down into sections, and this was the financial section of relationships.
So here's the thing. I think this does kind of fall along gender lines. I think men in general have no problem dating a woman who is not as well off or has as high of an income as they do. I do think in general, generally speaking, I think women have more of a problem if they are a high earner entering into a relationship with a guy who is not as high income long term. I can tell you I, am in a higher income bracket than my wife. That does not bother me at all. I don't think it will kill our relationship. Obviously there are cultural differences, but, I don't know that I would ever date a woman who made more than me, not because it would make me feel insecure, but I think that I would still be expected to pay for everything anyway. And if she's not going to pay for my bills, not interested.
Yeah,
You're looking for a sugar mama.
I know, right?
No. But no. So to me personally, I want to be clear. To me personally, honestly, despite the joke I just made, I really wouldn't care either way. I do believe relationships work best when each person is contributing what they're able to, right? I think even if you are somebody that doesn't make as much as your partner, you can still contribute, not necessarily financially, but in other ways, and contribute financially like in proportion to what you can. So I think it's important to I've always looked at it as, like I recognize that my wife contributes things, even financially, and I appreciate that. I think that's what keeps a relationship going. So I don't, that Chat GPT statement made me think that that person who's a higher earner is going to feel a lot of resentment. I think that feeling of resentment would come in if that person felt that they were just being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I agree. I think some men do have issues with a woman making more money than them. I don't know if it's a pride thing or I don't really know, but I know there are couples where that is the case, and it can be and it could just come down to the gender role thing, right? Like generally men make more money. I know even just growing up, and even like I'd say within the last 5 to 10 years, I really changed. Caitlin.
Yes, Caitlin married me for my millions.
I grew like mom always like would tell me that, like the man has to take care of you, and all these things, and that's a very old school way of looking at things, and absolutely want to be taken care of. I'm not gonna lie. But I also am married to a man that for a long time I would be like, well, I don't want to make more money than you. And he would be like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is our house. It's our bills. He's like, you should make money. You work hard. Like, get the money that you deserve, And I was like, no, no, no. Like, you need to make more. And it took me a long time to switch that mindset. Luckily, again, I'm with a man that's like, no, money is money. Let's bring home the bacon. But, yeah, I think it depends on the people, like the person and the personality and the relationship. When I was working part time, I had left a job I hated and I took another job for less money and less hours. When he was at work 40 hours, I made sure that like I did the laundry or that the house was clean. Like again, going back to those stereotypical gender roles, but I just made sure that I was contributing, like David mentioned, like contributing in a way that I could financially too, but like making sure that like things were done around the house that I could help with while he like just some burden I could take off of him where he was out of the house for 40 plus hours, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So
I think, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I think in a healthy adult relationship, which many people just, let's face it, don't have in today's world, but I think in a real healthy adult relationship, contributions can look like a lot of different things from each person. It doesn't necessarily just mean financially.
and it's
So,
always for a time, right? Like it's very rare that you're in that same position for 10, 20, 30 years. It's usually just for a moment in time where like I only worked part-time for I think 2 months maybe. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a long-term thing.
well,
But
Hawaii told me she asked ChatGPT how long it would take her to be a rich woman, and she was told 15 years. So she's been telling me lately, just hold out 15 years, and then your wife will be a rich woman.
Dana, what do you think?
This is a common thing I see on Reddit a lot, where
Oh.
partners resent each other for financial reasons. Whether it's one's upset that the other one's not contributing enough financially, or the other one feels insecure about the fact they don't make as much money as the other person, or the other person feels resentment from their partner's family because the partner's family thinks they should be earning more. I think it all comes back to the fact that money just causes so many problems. So I can see why the hot take would be, taking on someone's financial liability. It's not even like financial liability. It could be financial guilt, or you don't have to call it liability. You could put a different name on it. It could cause problems in a relationship, even if the person's telling themselves it would be okay. I can see situations where maybe someone couldn't get over it.
Yeah, that's a good point because I'm thinking of it as Mike and I, who were like we were young and we grew into our careers and into the money we're making. But I suppose if you are an older person dating and you're used to I don't know, say you make $1 million a month and you're going on these extravagant trips every weekend and you can take a morning off to go, I don't know, play golf or whatever it is, and then you date someone that isn't, that would be quite a different way of living, I guess. That could be a struggle if you're an older person established and then dating.
I think what also factors in is, okay, income aside of each person, are you somebody that has like champagne taste on a beer budget, right? Are you
Yeah.
somebody that has champagne
Good
taste?
callback.
Yeah, champagne taste on a champagne budget, right? Like
Right.
if you are dating somebody that loves to travel and loves to go to resorts and like just likes to live in luxury,
hmm
and you don't have the means to keep up with them, I could easily see how that would cause problems.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. You worded it very nicely.
Any more thoughts on that before we move on?
I don't think so.
Okay, next one.
That
Dog
is not
outside.
cannoli.
Yeah, it's dogs outside.
Cannoli is asleep on his bed.
Super hot take number 4. You do not need to share every little secret about your life to your partner or spouse. Discuss.
Every little secret. I'd say that's true. I don't think you need to share every single thing. every single thing?
It's the person you're going to be spending the rest of your life with.
I know, but I'm not. I mean, obviously the big stuff, but I mean, like a little thing, like
But so to me, I read this question as when I hear that word secret, I think it's big.
oh, okay,
Okay.
I mean, no, I agree. Like on the surface, no, you don't have to tell your spouse every single thing that they don't know about
Yeah.
you and catch them up to date. But I do think if you know that your spouse or the person you're about to start, getting serious with or whatever, if you have something that's a secret that would make them think twice,
oh yeah, okay,
I I don't know. I think big stuff should be shared before you take that step.
yeah. I'd say big stuff. Yes, I guess I was thinking more like I'm
It's a
trying
little
to-
too vague, that
yeah,
statement.
like every
take.
little
It doesn't have to be vague though, because you can just apply to what your thought is about it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
however you interpret it.
like
David interprets it as it's a big secret, but I mean the literal words say every little secret. You have to tell your spouse or partner every little thing.
But some people look at secrets that are pretty major and they describe them even to themselves as, well, it's just a little secret. It's not a big deal.
I guess I was thinking more. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the word secret and just looking at like you have to tell your partner every little thing. Like
Yeah, I don't think that.
I'm trying to think like when you guys do like I don't know, trim your nose hairs. Like, do you tell your spouse like, "Hey, I'm gonna go trim my nose hairs"? Like, I don't know that is something you need to like tell. I don't know. That's kind of a weak thing.
I
But
guarantee you right now, Caitlin is on the couch laughing because I was not feeling very well this week, and she had to listen to me complain for 3 days about how I couldn't crap. So
Well, we know where Dana stands on this too.
I'm trying to think of things. I'm sure there are things that I do not tell Mike that like are not a big deal. That I wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta run and tell him. I don't know.
Caitlin says, I don't think you have to, but if you are close, stuff will probably come out naturally.
Yeah. I mean, there's intimacy in that, obviously. But there are just some things that you can keep to yourself, I think. I'm not talking about the big stuff, obviously.
Okay.
Who's the judge of the big stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I guess me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I was only joking when I said I didn't want to get you guys in trouble. So I was going to get you guys in trouble, so I won't push it.
Oh
any
no!
further.
I mean,
if you're
Mike,
uncomfortable with it.
no, Mike and I talk.
No.
We talk about crapping all the time. Like literally, it's something that comes up in our relationship all
That's
the time.
that's an old married couple discussion.
Yes, yeah. Talk like they, GI issues all day with me. So he gets the text all the time, like, "Oh, my stomach trouble again, tummy trouble again," and he like that stuff is whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything to add, David? You good?
No.
I can't wait for
Okay,
him
no.
to listen to this and see what he thinks.
All right. Hot take number 5. Couples that have a shared Facebook account have major trust issues in their relationship.
I would say 95% of them, that is probably an accurate statement.
Inaccurate or inaccurate? Inaccurate.
That is accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'd say they're because I know of one couple that share one because they're an older couple and they're not really on Facebook all that much, but they like to see pictures of things. And I don't think they. I mean, I don't know them well, so I can't imagine. But I would say 95%. That's probably a true statement.
But what if they're just a very happy couple that likes to celebrate month anniversaries and do yearly wedding renewals, and they just want to share their love with the world?
And they like to celebrate like when their toddler starts to walk and talk. All that stupid crap that nobody cares about.
Well, don't tell
That
me
people
that
should not celebrate.
Don't tell me that you're celebrating 24 months together. That's stupid. You're celebrating 2 years together. That's what I mean. Why do people do that? Why do we have to count in months? I'm not going to reiterate this again, but I just don't like it.
All right, back to the Facebook thing. David, what do you think? Shared
You know,
Facebook.
I've actually never given it much thought as to whether there's an element of insecurity. I go back to the same thing. I just think it's kind of lame and annoying when people do that.
The word I
Like-
think of is irritating.
I mean, clearly the people that share a Facebook account also believe in telling each other every single little secret that they have. So
Probably, yeah.
Or they
Probably.
don't.
Or they
and
don't, and
and that's what led to them
that's
having to
why.
have a shared account.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I think it's a bigger deal if you don't share your phone passcode with your partner.
Oh, there was
If,
one that
if
I
you
didn't-
don't,
there
if
was
you
one
don't
that I
share
didn't-
your phone passcode with your partner, you are hiding something.
There is one that I made. I didn't make a slide for. That was kind of related. Hold on.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd say that's more sketchy than not telling every little secret or every little thing, however we want to take that. Do you share
okay. Well,
your passcode?
we're gonna discuss this. Whatever. Like Caitlin knows all my stuff because it's like the debit card in whatever is all kind of the same numbers. Not that I should be advertising.
I was
that to
just
the
gonna
world.
say, you better go change all those numbers. Someone's gonna hack you.
It's a good thing I have multiple debit card numbers. Okay. Okay. You guys want to discuss that any further, or do you want to go into something different? We'll go into something different because there was. This is going to be stuff that's kind of related. So, number 6, having a work wife, work husband is emotionally cheating on your spouse. This is another one I've seen come up on Reddit a lot before too. Like situations like this.
Yes,
You say yes, 100% yes?
100%.
Oh.
Yes. And not only are you emotionally cheating, you are creating the conditions for actual cheating. Like, well, not that emotionally cheating is an actual cheating, depending on, your viewpoint. But you are definitely creating the conditions for cheating to happen.
Really?
Yeah. And I might get a lot of hate for saying that. But I 100% will die on this hill. I think people who have a work wife or a work husband, whether they want to admit it or not, and most people probably just convince themselves that, no, we're just really good friends now. No,
Wow.
something's brewing there.
That's
something
very
something-
opinionated.
Were you expecting less?
I would have said no, I don't think it's emotionally cheating. I think
Really?
I think it can be inappropriate. I totally see, Dave, what you're saying, but I don't think that's always the case.
You hear that, everyone? The human resources manager is okaying work wives and husbands. That's a-okay in her book.
I mean, as long as it remains professional.
But
I
that's
think
the
once
thing.
You know what I mean?
I think
That's
once
my-
you've
that's my whole point.
once you've called someone your work wife or your work husband, you've crossed that professional line. It's no longer a professional relationship.
Right.
I
Exactly.
think I disagree.
No.
It's no longer
come
a
on.
professional relationship.
I
There's
don't
no
know.
professionalism there.
Well,
Okay, what is your definition of a work wife or a work husband? How would you describe that person? When someone says, "I have a work wife" or "I have a work husband," how do they feel towards that person? What are they talking about?
I would say they probably talk about work. They probably vent about similar things, similar people. Like they bond over
Like their
the
spouses?
No, I don't think so.
You may not think so, but I think that's where it starts to lead, because once you start complaining about work, then you start complaining and commiserating about other aspects of your lives, and then it's only a moment before so and so is, my wife's giving me a dead bedroom, my husband hasn't touched me in years, and then hey,
Oh my god.
bam!
They're,
All professionalism
They're
out
in
the
the-
window and on the
they're in the
bedroom
gym.
floor.
they're in the
Yeah, they're in the
closet.
janitor's closet.
Okay. I guess that is not my experience. But wow, okay.
You're giving people too much credit. That's the
I
problem
get-
here.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, like automatically, like Caitlin says, I agree with Dana. Once you call someone your work spouse, that crosses the line. I just think that, like, if you're calling someone your work wife or your work spouse, your work husband, you have some sort of affinity for them beyond the workspace.
Beyond
You're
the
probably
workspace.
spending a lot of time together, talking a lot, eating lunch together. You know who was a
Yeah.
work wife and work husband before they were actually wife and husband? Was Jim and Pam.
Jim
from
and
The
Pam.
Office.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, if they were real people, you know that Roy was at home saying, "How's your work husband doing?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guarantee that they would have like referred to themselves as work wife and work husband, and everyone around them would have said that the same thing. And guess what? They wound up together because once you start feeling those feelings,
so we're going off of a TV show.
yeah, Caitlin was my work wife, and guess what? We got married.
Oh my god. Well, I guess we will just have to agree to disagree.
I'm actually genuinely surprised that you feel that way, Michelle.
I am surprised that our resident HR representative is totally on board with work spouses.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
crazy.
I guess, Dave, like you said, maybe I just give people too much credit.
Do you know what one of the most important factors in building attraction with another person is? Romantic attraction,
I don't.
familiarity,
Oh,
and proximity. Those
Okay.
are two. That's why everybody
so
has
work wife, work husband. You're saying is a recipe for disaster
Yes,
because you're
that's
you're working close to each
you're
other.
working. You
you're-
spend more, depending on what you do. You probably spend more time with your work spouse than your actual spouse.
yeah. I'd say we do spend more time with the people
It-
we work with.
I mean, just think about like the proximity and familiarity thing. Think of how it is relatively easy when you're in high school and college to like date and be in relationships. And then if you don't get married and you go out into the world, everybody has to start using dating apps, right? Because they're not spending all that time together necessarily. And with with familiar faces and getting to know each other and stuff like that, the way that you do in a school setting, or educational setting. So if you work at the same job, you develop an affinity for somebody, you talk more and more, it just starts to increase over time. And then, like I said, that just creates the recipe for cheating to happen.
Did you listen to the podcast I sent you, Shelley, from David Williams about MasterChef?
No, not yet.
Okay, so he talks about so they do their tryouts, whatever, and then they send him to Hollywood for like whatever it was, 6 weeks, I think. 6 weeks. You can't use your phone. Only the producers will contact your family for you. You have like basically almost no contact with the outside.
Oh wow.
So the only contact they had when they weren't filming the show was with each other
with
in the
other
hotel.
people.
Right, and they had to stay in the hotel. So, and they didn't even have keys to their rooms. They had to, basically, he said they would just throw things in their door so they could go out and hang out with their people that they were shooting with and go for walks
Wow.
and stuff. Because the producers kept the room keys because they didn't want them leaving the rooms. They didn't want them spoiling things from the show for people. They didn't,
Oh.
and they really didn't want them fraternizing together, which they all completely disobeyed. He said, marriages got ruined because they're spending all this time together, and like people started hooking up and stuff. And like you're talking about people that were like married with kids, married
Right,
for
that's
years.
always, like, a
And
very
he's like,
family-
everybody was like sleeping with each other. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. A little behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, there was
Well,
a lot of interesting behind the scenes stuff about
I
the
love
creation of that
MasterChef.
show.
I don't want to like look at it through. I like my rose-colored glasses when I watch MasterChef. Yeah, maybe. I guess maybe I'm a little naive.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm surprised though. Like Marshall had a work wife in How I Met Your Mother, and he
Yeah.
knew it was crossing a line because he never really confirmed for Lily that Jenkins was a woman.
Yeah, but do you think that was not? Do you think that was crossing a line because he didn't introduce them? He didn't say it was a woman.
He didn't cheat on her, but he knew he was crossing a line with his wife because he didn't lie to her, but he was very like particular about not specifying and like
he or
allowing
she.
allowing his wife to believe that Jenkins was a guy.
I took that more that he knew he was lying, and that was why he didn't want to tell her. Like that's why it just like went on, and then he felt weird about telling her. I guess this one was a hot take, Dana.
It was pretty high, wasn't it? Like I said, there's a lot of stuff like this on Reddit too, and this is a common thing. And I can tell you, Reddit does not think this is inappropriate.
So
work relationship.
what if the work wife and work husband go out to like on a date with husband and wife? You know what I'm trying to say?
That doesn't mean anything. So
Oh, okay. Well, I just didn't know what your thought
It
was
would
on
just
that.
be a very awkward dinner, I think.
it would be yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
let's face it.
it kind of
we discussed the Coldplay Kiss Cam, and that was clearly a work wife, work husband situation as well.
Well, that was an actual affair, which maybe
I think
you
a
know
lot
what?
of them
Maybe it
start like
started
that.
as a work wife, work
I think a lot of them
husband
start that way.
situation. Yeah, that could be.
I
That could
think a lot
be.
of them start that way. Number 7. This one's kind of silly. If your partner is the type of person that claps when a plane lands, leave them immediately.
That's so funny that this comes up because I was reading I was reading earlier and it's of course I read all like the chick lit stuff and that was one of the things like they were this couple was starting to get to know each other and the guy was like, "Do you clap when a plane lands?" And she was like, "No, would you leave me if I did?" And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And they had like a little laugh about it. So it's so funny that you just brought this up.
do people do that?
Yes,
Apparently
you've
they
never
do.
been on a plane where people clap when it's
All the flights I've been on, I've never even I've been on 2
Wow.
planes that have made emergency landings. I've never been on a plane where people clapped.
Wow, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was a Vegas one.
Caitlin has told me this story before, and she's right. I don't believe her, but she said that the first time she took a plane ride to Florida for Disney, everyone on the plane clapped when it landed.
Do you
She
believe her
swears.
now though?
She swears it happened. I think it's a false memory. I think she probably saw it in a movie or something,
No.
and she convinced herself it happened. That's what I think.
People clap on planes. I don't know that you should leave them, but I'm really glad that Mike is not a person that claps at the like a landing of a plane or the end of a movie.
I can see someone clap. I can see people clapping after like a near-death experience.
Yeah, Dave, I'm surprised no one
They somehow
clapped
got
on
through
your.
it. Like I'm sure.
plane.
Well, they wouldn't have had time to. But I was gonna say, like when Sully landed on the Hudson River, maybe people clapped then because he literally saved their lives. But maybe they waited till they got ashore, then they clapped.
They probably yeah, because he was the last one off the plane. He actually like walked down the length of the plane to make sure everybody was off before he himself got off. So I'm sure they did clap for him when he finally showed up.
What about clapping at the end of a movie?
Oh, that's different.
That I've seen.
I
I've
know,
seen that
but-
before.
But do we think that's cringy?
Well, I don't know. Did you guys clap after Han Solo?
No, we did not. That was not clapworthy.
Michelle was clapping when she was like, "Ooh, let's not invite Dana."
No, no, sir. I do think I maybe clapped at one of the Avenger movies. I maybe clapped at the end of one of those. Out of like, just everyone else was, and I was like, yes, so
Well,
good.
I remember when I was a kid and we went to see Return of the Jedi in the theater. Everybody clapped at the end of that.
Oh, okay.
I remember going to see Martin, the comedian Martin.
What
You
is
know him?
it?
The comedian Martin.
Oh,
Martin
no.
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Oh, no.
He released a stand-up special in the
Martin.
late 90s. He released a stand-up special in the movie theaters, and me and a couple
Okay.
of my friends went to see it. And it was like us, 3 like white kids, and a lot of African American people, and they were roaring, clapping, hollering, hooting and hollering the whole entire set. And I was like, we're not really there. But they were like clapping and stuff and like shouting like they were shouting at him. You tell him, Martin. And I was like, this is wild.
Well, now that's like an experience. Like Taylor Swift, like had her Eras concert in the theater so that people could go to the theater and dance and sing along as if they were there. That's like a whole
I
vibe
feel
now.
like that's kind of lame. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. I dance and sing when I'm at an actual concert, but not when I'm at a movie of a concert.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I've ever watched a movie of a concert, actually.
No, neither have
It's
I.
not the
but
same.
let people have their joy.
Many. I've watched many. I mean, I have some. I watch at home every now and then, but
Yeah,
it is
no.
not the same.
It's not for me.
Makes me wish
Anyway.
I was there when it happened, but
Yeah.
you can't replicate the actual experience, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
Hot take number 8. If you're in a loving relationship, but not a compatible kisser, your relationship is doomed.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arguments.
Oh, I just you go first,
Kissing-
Dave.
So for me anyway, kissing is the basic building block for intimacy. And if you don't have that, you have no real intimacy, and it's not going to lead to anything else.
Yeah,
It's like it's a big component to be missing from a relationship.
Yeah, it's like the first step, right, of any physical
Yeah.
relationship. If you don't like to kiss that person, then like why do you want to do anything else with them? What do you think?
I always tend to say, like, you're going to kiss someone way more than you make love to them. So if you're not a compatible kisser, you're bound to have a very lonely life if you're not going to be kissing that person.
Yeah.
Lonely relationship, basically.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
Anything else to add on that one?
No,
I
that
don't
was a
think
quick
so.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, we went through those pretty quick, so I can pull up. We can talk about some of the other ones
Oh, okay.
that the AI came up with. Okay, they had. It's okay for a man in a relationship to want validation.
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't everyone want a little validation?
What
I think the implication.
What do we
was
mean by
that's-
validation?
I think the implication. I don't know. I think the implication was that's more of a woman's thing to want. Apparently, this is under the gender role and expectations section of the relationships.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I think men want to be told like, "Oh, you look good today. That shirt looks nice on you. Brings out your eyes. You smell good today." I don't know. I think most people want some sort of compliment.
Okay,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
you guys are too far in agreement. Okay, well here's one for Dave because I know this is one of Dave's pet peeves.
Okay.
Men crying should not be brave. It should be normal.
I completely disagree. And no, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a man crying. But I mean, if a man cries at the drop of a hat or because something got too heavy, I don't know how to articulate this without getting myself into a lot of trouble. I think it is important. I think not just men, I think our society as a whole could really do with a little bit more self-control and self-regulation. So not just with like crying, but just being dramatic, getting angry, kind of walking around like, if something doesn't work out, it's because everybody in the world has something personally against me and is conspiring to make my life crap. I mean, which is how a lot of people handle adversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just look at social media with all the viral videos going around of people like getting into arguments on planes or road rage or whatever the case might be. I think everybody, and I do include myself in this statement, everybody could do with a hell of a lot more just stepping back and chilling the F out and realizing it's not all about you. So I realize I'm getting away from the whole crying thing, but that's part of it. Because I think people seem to think the more passionately they express themselves, the more right they are about something or the more correct they are. And I think that's a load of crap. How right you are or how justified you are is not directly in proportion for how loud or emotional you get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I also think, you know what, I have a pretty traditional view of masculinity in a lot of ways, and that I think, no, I'm not, as a guy, I can tell you, in the therapy room, I've had more clients who are men cry in therapy sessions with me than I have had women cry. in therapy sessions with me. And I really do think it's because, and most of them have been like very traditionally masculine men, but I really do think it's like we don't have that luxury to show that
cry
kind.
as often
cry.
as women may cry.
I don't know how often women cry. I'm being honest.
Oh my God. I cry. I was watching MasterChef before this podcast and was crying because the grandfather gave his grandson the white apron and I was losing it. And I was like, I can't believe that this show makes me cry as much as it does. I cry. The book I was reading last week made me cry. I cry like a baby all the time. Maybe I need to self-regulate more. But when I read like a book or I watch TV or a movie, I like put myself in that place and I will totally feel all the emotions. I laugh, I cry. It's crazy.
Caitlin cries all the time. Just ask Dana. Well, men crying makes Caitlin cry.
Really?
It gets her every time. If she sees a guy cry, she can see a woman crying and she'll have like no reaction to it. But if she sees like a man cry, like a dad coming home from the war
Oh,
and seeing his
yeah.
kids and the tears are streaming down his face, it makes her bawl her eyes out. Or if, yeah, just like men crying over like their kid being born, or
So those are
It's-
two situations I just want to say where I think it's perfectly acceptable for a man to cry.
I also was just going to say, I think when I watch those videos, I cry more from the child's point of view that, like, oh my God, this child is so happy that their mom or dad, who they haven't seen in however long because they've been in the military, are finally home. And they, like, I always cry more because the kids must be just, like, bursting with emotion. I never really look at it from, like, the adult side. I'm looking at it more as a kid thing. I should probably unpack that in therapy. Just kidding. But no, really.
it's okay for a couple to go to bed angry at each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes, as long as there is a discussion of I'm still angry. I don't want to have this conversation right now. I would like to talk to you about it in the morning, and then the conversation actually has to happen in the morning, though. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
agree.
I don't think you can be like I want to talk about it tomorrow, and then it just never comes up, and then you just sweep it under the rug until the next big argument, and then it comes back around. I don't think that works.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would prefer not to go to bed angry, but there are just some times where you have to call it, I think.
Dana, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think that sometimes you just need the space to think about what it was over and time to cool off. Because I think when people are heated at each other, sometimes they might say things they may not necessarily mean. They might just be flying off the cuff. So it gives you a chance to step back and reevaluate what was being, argued over or debated or whatever was causing the fight, the argument. So yeah, I think just it's probably just the right just the right amount of time. Going to bed, sleeping it off, and waking up the next morning or whatever when you have a chance to discuss it. Maybe after you've spent the day with your work wife or work husband, then you'll feel better. And
I have a question. So you know the saying, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. Do you think when you're in an argument with someone and you, like you just said, Dana, you might say something you regret. Do you think that if you want to say something that you know you're going to regret, that that's actually how you feel? Do you guys know what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, I know what
because
you're trying to
because I think you are saying stuff that you truly feel in that moment, right?
Yeah.
And then the regret isn't necessarily the regret that you actually said that thing. It's the regret of, I think for a lot of people, it's probably the regret of the result of saying that thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So,
But
like, so someone's drunk. I was, okay. So people are out drinking all night, group of friends. And then one of the friends is like drinking and then tells his buddy that like he's in love with his girlfriend, right? Okay, because he's drunk and he has no control over what he's saying. Is he saying it just because he's drunk, or is he saying it because he really feels it, right? He's probably saying it because he actually really feels it, right? And then the inebriation has lifted that filter that he would normally have to be proper, and lifted that filter, so he just blurts it out, right?
Yeah.
The regret isn't that he said it or felt it. The regret is now, oh, my friend's fucking pissed at me, right? That's the regret part.
Yeah, but what
I feel like.
But like if you're looking at it from a negative side, so like if you're in an argument with someone that you love, right, and you're like you want to say to that person like you're such a selfish bitch, and you maybe don't think that, but maybe you really do think that because like you're so angry that this has just come out like so easily. Do you think that that is how that person really feels about
It could
their
be that they feel
spouse?
about. It could be about how they feel about that situation that they're arguing over.
You don't
Right.
think you think it's situational, not like a personal. This is how this person has thought, and they've just buried how they feel about this partner.
No, I don't think that. I don't believe that at all. But I mean, I don't know what David thinks about it. He's a family
I know,
therapist.
Dave.
He's probably dealt with this
yeah,
before.
what are your thoughts on that, Dave?
On when people say things in the heat of anger,
Yeah.
Yes,
like do they really? Is it what they really mean?
yes. Like,
how
is
they
it
actually feel.
is it like what they're thinking when they're not as angry, so they can contain it a bit more? Kind of to Dana's point,
So
like there's
I
a
think-
filter until there's not.
Okay, so let's use your example, right? Somebody's arguing with their spouse and they're like, I think you're a selfish bitch. And they say it in the heat of anger. They don't necessarily think that their spouse is a selfish bitch. What they're actually saying is, I feel like you don't give a damn about me. And that's
you
it's
think
coming
it's-
out. It's coming out as an attack, but it's actually like I'm feeling like completely dismissed and abandoned by you. But it does people aren't going to say that. They're going to go on the attack and they're
Right,
going
right.
to lash out. So they're going to be like, you're being selfish. Well, who is a selfish person? There's somebody that only cares about themselves. If they only care about themselves, who do they not care about? Their spouse. So that's why there's, you know what I mean? Like that's why
Yeah.
they're.
Okay. I was just curious.
So,
See, I was
so
look- I
therapy.
was look- Go ahead. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say therapy, a lot of therapy, like, you know, if you're kind of diving into emotions and how somebody feels, right? You know, that cliched question, how does that make you feel? Like what you're really trying to do is help somebody kind of dive deep to figure out like, what is it? Like, what's at the root of it? Like, yeah, you're
Sorry, Mason.
sorry. Like you're pissed at that other person. Yes. But it's like, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Like there's more to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes people will, especially like in the heat of an argument, they may really feel that in that moment, right? Like the guy that says to his wife, "You're being a selfish bitch," right? Or he says, "You're a selfish bitch." He's not. I don't think he necessarily actually believes that she's a selfish person, and I don't even know if it's what Dave's saying, where he feels like they're not, recognizing him, and it's more of, in this moment, in this argument about this specific thing, you are being selfish to me. This is coming across as selfish to me. Even though he's giving a more broad, like, you are this. He's actually saying, you are doing this right now. You are being like this right now. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
That makes
Like,
yes.
delineating-
Both
I think
of
a
what
lot
you
of-
guys are saying is making sense.
I think a lot of times it gets lost in, like, he's delineating about this, or she, or whatever, whoever's
Right,
making
yeah.
this statement. They're delineating between, I really believe this about you all the time, versus this is how you're acting right now. This is how you're coming across right now. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just thought my question was just what you guys thought if people who say that in the heat of the moment without the filter really think those things when they're not angry.
I
they
don't
kinda
believe.
just
I think
deal
in,
with it.
I think in like 90% of the cases, they do not believe that. I think that there's probably that 10% that always feels like that, and they shouldn't be with that person. I think in 90% of those cases, I mean, maybe it's even more, but I think those people really don't feel that way. It's just the anger that's like they don't have that self-control in that moment to stop themselves from saying something like that. Or the anger is stopping them from phrasing it the way they would like to. And I think we've all
Right. Yeah.
we've all been angry and said things and then been like, oh, I could have phrased that way better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's
Yeah.
my take on it.
Dave, anything else to add?
I was just gonna say when I've said cruel things in the past, I've always thought, man, I could have been more cutting with that. I could have gone deeper.
Could have got a real zinger in there.
Oh my God.
Because there's only one rule in relationships:
Oh no.
win.
That is not good advice.
That is my brother. That is my brother, Tywin Lannister. Everybody.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm being sarcastic.
I hope so. What else you got? That it?
I mean, we could do more if you guys want. I mean,
Let's
there's
do
some
one
other one
more.
that-
Yeah.
there's-
we can
there's
do-
some-
Let's do
all right.
one more.
Some of these are kind of like, they're kind of like lame, but I was trying to pick the ones I thought would result in a good conversation. Oh, here's an interesting one. This is under the gender and expectations. Women don't owe softness to a man if he can't provide the safety.
Women don't
Owe
owe softness to a man
if he can't provide them safety.
if he can't provide them safe.
And I'm assuming that probably means like security and stability, and that's I'm assuming that's what the
safety
meaning
part is.
that's what the meaning behind that is.
What do you think the meaning is behind softness?
Tenderness.
I would probably say traditional femininity.
Yeah, trad, like the
if we're
trad
talking
wife.
like the trad wife, traditional femininity, being kind.
Women don't owe men softness if the man doesn't provide safety. I don't know. I don't know. Softness. Well, what do you guys think? Because I'm at a loss.
I think women in general are more inclined to give that softness when they feel safe. When they have, I think they're more inclined to do it when they have that sense of safety, security, stability, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's owed or not, I don't think, I've never thought a woman owes me anything. But at the same time, it's like, if she has certain expectations of me, I want to be getting something of value out of the relationship as well, beyond just her presence in the relationship. I think everybody should have that attitude of, you need to do more for the relationship than just be there and be a nice person. That's a really low bar to clear.
I guess I was struggling because I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, I know there's a million reasons, but personally, I would not be with someone that I didn't feel safe with. So I'm trying to figure out, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be with a person that I don't feel that I'm safe around. Like, I wouldn't be in that
Not-
relationship.
Not every woman feels that way, though.
That's what I mean. I know there's a lot of women that are not in safe, relationships. So I don't want to speak for them. But like for me, like I guess yes. I guess if you do feel safe, you can let your guard down. I don't know if it's owed, like you said, Dave, but
I think it also comes down to, softness has, I mean, these terms have kind of like broad meanings. It could mean a lot of things. Like softness could be like being warm and tender, like we were talking about, or, being traditionally feminine, like a trad wife, or, it could mean like not being overly aggressive, I'm in charge of the relationship, right?
Yeah.
Right. So because I think these days or recently, it seems like if you pay attention to what's happening in the dating world, that has been a general complaint that men have had, is like women, they kind of want to be the boss. They kind of want to run like the relationship. They don't seem to respect me. My wife doesn't respect me. My girlfriend doesn't respect me. She acts like I'm incompetent. She acts like she has to do everything. And some women actually have kind of entered into it with that attitude. So they could mean softness in that way. Like,
Yeah, that's interesting.
and, I myself, after dating many women that fit that mold of, I want to be in charge of everything. Right. I mean, after the last time, I was very clear on like, okay, this is the kind of person that I want. I don't want to deal with somebody who's going to get angry when she doesn't have control of everything. Or more importantly, I don't want to be with somebody who's going to get mad at me because she's not happy with the way I'm handling my own life and my own business. Like, that's my life. I don't tell my partner what she should be doing or how she should be doing it. But I've had many that have had no problem kind of throwing that sort of judgment down, like, well, it would be better if you did it this way and you should do it. And then getting angry and frustrated that I wasn't going along with that. So to me, that was not softness. That was, I don't know how I describe it, but I just knew it wasn't anything I wanted.
But if
Moving forward.
if you're married, shouldn't the partners have some sort of input in that?
No, but this is
He was talking
This
about
is-
dating specifically, right?
no, I like, okay, in my marriage, if I would say, hey, I'm going to run down to the store and get myself a Diet Coke, that would be a problem.
In your marriage right now?
No, not in my marriage right now. I'm saying in the past, like, that would be
okay.
it would be a problem. Like, the person I was with thought I should be making different choices. And it's like, well, no, I'm an adult and I'm going to do whatever the F I want.
Like,
if I
they're
wanna
saying,
diet-
no, you should get a green tea because it's healthier, or something like
Something
that.
along those lines. Or if I was
Okay.
like, I want a burger. Well, let me make you some like a kale salad. Well, I don't want a kale salad. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, these are not like major things, but they're
Yeah.
minor things that add up over time.
Yeah.
To where I was just like, you know what? I don't do the same thing. If if Hawaii is like, I want to get ice cream, I'm not going to be like, well, you shouldn't be eating ice cream because it's not healthy for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's just not, like, you're an adult.
Hawaii,
wanna-
you eat whatever ice cream you want, sister. Anytime you want.
She doesn't give me crap, but like, I told her last night I was having pizza and she'll make the comment like, oh, you're being very healthy. And then she'll give me the look. That's fine.
Yeah.
I went way off into the weeds, but I think because this was like a gender role question, I suspect that's what it means, is that this idea, the premise is, okay, if a man wants that sort of soft, I don't want to use the word submissive because I hate that word. I don't think it's accurate, but maybe that's what they meant. Like, more, okay, I'll let the man take the lead in the relationship. I think that's what the thing was getting at, is that a woman doesn't owe it to a man to let him take the lead in the relationship if he can't actually lead.
Yeah.
And I would probably agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that, actually.
I think there are some men that cannot get it together, and they could
Oh.
not like run a household or get the kids off. I'm not saying that not all of them could. There are plenty that can, but there is something to be said
I
for
think
the
there are more
fact
than
that-
some.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
think there
say
are more than some.
I feel it's funny
Most.
when men, like, all men have to say is like, "Oh, I'm out of deodorant," and like, the next day that man is gonna have deodorant because the wife is gonna be out, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he needs deodorant. Let me stop and get it." Or, "I'm at the store. He said he was running low on deodorant. Let me pick it up." Like, do you guys think about those things?
I've
Like,
never
as married,
had.
well, you're not with living right now.
But I
with a
mean,
partner.
but I've been married twice before, and
Yeah.
neither of them ever did anything like that.
Really?
Well, keep in mind, I'm also, I think, pretty independent and always have been. So I've never expected or felt that I need a wife to take care of my basic needs. Like for many years, I've been paying my own bills. I've been cooking for myself. I've been doing my own laundry. I've been cleaning my own home.
Wait,
You know what I
okay,
mean? Like I
so
don't. I've been doing
question.
my own shopping. I've been running my own errands. I don't need somebody to run my life. I have my life. I just want someone to love and be in a relationship with. That's it. I
Right.
don't need somebody to like conduct my life for me because I'm too incompetent to do it. I recognize a lot of guys are. I do recognize
Okay.
that. I ain't
Right.
one of them and never have been.
Okay, Dana, how about you?
Yeah, I like. I'm fairly independent. I mean, Caitlin does do stuff for me though. Like she does. Like she'll be at the store and ask me if I need stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but most of the stuff I take, I'm not completely helpless. Right?
Okay. Right.
But I'm thinking about. It was this conversation is making me think about some of the stories that Caitlin tells me about from like her like South Shore Mothers group
Yeah.
on Facebook, and some of the stories she tells me about like all the complaints they have about their husbands, and it's like, some of it I'm sure is like them like the one side of the story, whatever. But
Of
some of it
course.
it's like, is this guy for real? Like, is this guy this helpless that he can't do this thing or whatever? Like,
But you know what the difference is with you and me, Dana? And I think what makes the difference, every guy I've known that has kind of had that expectation of my wife's going to take care of me and my wife can handle all that stuff and I don't need to worry about it.
2-parent household.
No,
Oh.
Okay.
spoiled by their mother.
Oh, and
True.
Mom did not spoil us.
And mom did
in
not
that
spoil us
aspect.
in any way.
No, no.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you probably heard a lot of the same things I did, Dana. But I mean, mom, like basically from the time I was 5, had me doing chores and was like, "You're not going to do to some woman what your dad did to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to handle everything."
Constantly.
Yeah.
Little did she know, she made me into like this complete and total like independent. I don't even want to take part in any of that stuff. To where I have had exes say like, "Hey, you're really good at like being supportive, but it would be nice if you'd let me support you too sometimes." And it's like,
You're
no,
like, no, I am not spoiled.
I am not spoiled.
Okay, so I have a question. It's funny you guys say that because, like, no, Mom did not spoil, but like, so okay,
But mom
Well,
had very clearly defined gender ideas too.
she did because that's what I'm leading into is laundry. Okay. So since Mike and I have been together, we have a shared laundry bin. I do the laundry majority of the time, but of course if it needs to be switched or he'll throw the load in or whatever. He's very helpful. I'm not saying he doesn't do laundry, but for the most part, I do laundry. I fold it. We put it away together. We do a lot of things, chores together, but do you guys in your relationships do laundry together? Do you do all of your laundry for your spouse? Do you split it? Does everyone do their own? Like if it were me and Mike, like I do my own laundry, he does his own. Is it separate? Is it together?
Currently, Caitlin does pretty much all the laundry since I
Okay.
bought the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Before we had the washer and dryer, I did it all for years. I would take it all to the laundromat, and I'd be there at the laundromat for 3 hours and doing the laundry. Sometimes I'd fold it there. Sometimes I'd bring it back, and Caitlin would fold it with me.
Yeah,
Sometimes
fold it
Caitlin would come to
together.
Sometimes Caitlin would come to the laundromat with me and sit
Yeah.
with me while we were there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I did all the laundry up until when I got our washer and dryer, which is a small apartment washer and dryer. So in fairness, it is a lot more for Caitlin because it takes
Longer to do.
all day because
Yeah.
there's so many loads. We have 3 kids and it's a tiny little washer and dryer.
It takes 14 hours, Caitlin
Yeah,
says.
the wash itself doesn't take that long. It's the drying that
The
takes.
drying, yeah.
It's a dryer that plugs into a regular outlet, so it's a low heat, not a super high heat dryer, and it fits like a half a load in. So if she's
And-
doing 4 loads, she's doing 8 loads technically.
Yeah.
Basically.
So the reason I asked is because Mom had me doing laundry. Again, we were all doing chores very young, but I remember when she was working full time after school on Fridays, I would take the family laundry and I would go to the laundromat. I was in high school and I would wash and fold all the laundry and then, my dad would come pick me back up at the laundromat. But I remember doing like family laundry. So for me, it was normal to do household laundry. But I know couples that do separate laundry, like, her laundry day is Tuesday, his laundry day is Thursday, and they don't combine laundry.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just thought
Yeah.
that was interesting. And if it works for people, it works for people, right? Like, who cares? But so, Dave, what about you when you've been married? What's the laundry situation?
So my first marriage, we just did laundry together.
Okay, yeah.
Second marriage, we different. You know, I still had my house, and she had her own house, so I was just doing my own laundry. I was
Okay.
firmly in my independent phase by that
Okay.
point. Now, when I'm over in Vietnam, if I say to Hawaii, "Oh, I need to do some laundry," she'll just take it. Like I'll go to get it, and then it's gone because she's already got
Yes.
it in the washer and she's already done it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh, I love that.
or like I can't do any of the things that I'm used to doing. Like I told her I wanted to I like to cook, and she was like, her eyes got really big, and she's like, no, it is considered too feminizing over there for a man to be in the kitchen cooking.
Wow.
So she's like, you can't, and I'm like, but I like to cook.
Right, yeah. You're like, I'm good at it. Wow. Huh, that's interesting. And you know what's funny about that is Mike does most of the cooking. I almost never cook, which is a very different gender, if you're talking about gender roles, very different. He cooks 5 out of the 7 nights. We order one, and then I cook usually on Sundays.
Well, in my first marriage where we had a house together, we basically kind of divided the household labor based on who actually liked the chore. You know what I mean? Like I didn't mind doing dishes, so I generally tended to do the dishes.
I
We
do the
shared
dishes.
cooking. I hated vacuuming, so she would do the vacuuming and the sweeping and stuff like, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of divided that way, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would mow the lawn and shovel the snow.
He does mow the lawn. I help shovel the
Yeah.
deck and the stairs leading up through our cars, but then he snow blows the rest of it. I don't have to be out there. He takes care of that stuff. But I generally try to keep up with all the inside cleaning because he just doesn't really care for it. So, but we have people coming tomorrow, and so I have a list of things we need to do, and he will help me with those tomorrow.
I was just about to say, who's coming tomorrow? Who do you guys have over tomorrow? I'll be honest.
You?
You said that, right? And a little bit of jealousy just hit me, and I was like, who the hell's going to my sister's house? And I didn't get invited.
You and your entire family.
Is this another thing I'm getting left out of?
My God.
It's been a long week, and I'm very tired and sore.
Why are you sore?
I strained my pectoral muscle. It freaking kills.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. I think I slept on it long and popped it and went to lift something, and that's when I really felt it this morning. It's brutal. It's painful. It's very painful. Just trying to get through it. I took 20 Advil.
Great.
Yeah. So. All right, Michelle, what are we
right.
talking about next week? If you have to give me anything else.
We are going to do Reddit stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a
I
theme
haven't-
in mind?
I haven't decided yet. I have some saved that I have seen, but now everyone I read, I'm like, is this fake? I think this one's fake. This has to be. Now I'm convinced that all these stories I'm reading are not real. So it's taken me some time. So no, I do not have a theme yet, but I'll see what I can come up with.
So next week we go back to the dead internet.
Yeah.
You guys know about the dead internet theory, right?
Yes.
No?
I'm a firm believer in the dead internet theory. As a matter of fact, I think you two are AIs.
What? What is
Just
the
a couple
dead?
of AI bots that I do a
What-
podcast with.
What is the dead internet?
David, do you want to explain it? Do you want me to explain it?
You can explain it. You brought it
Okay,
up.
so it's the theory that the internet is more and more becoming bots on social media platforms, things like Reddit. That more and more bots are proliferating the internet. So what you're seeing a lot is either bots or one person running hundreds to thousands of accounts. And all these interactions that are happening are fake between bots, farming bots. So basically everything on the internet and social media is fake.
Yes.
Oh.
If you look at a news article and there's a comment thread below it, all of that is probably fake.
Okay.
If you look through
And you look and
Reddit,
see them-
everything is fake.
and
The
you look at the
replies are
arguments.
fake.
Oh.
And you look at the replies and the arguments that are happening in the comments, 100% fake.
Oh, that's interesting. So I do think that if there is a product and there, because I get a lot of ads, like a ton of ads on Facebook. It's basically on my Facebook is ads. And if you look at the comments, it's always like, just got mine today and it's great. I've never used a product like this before. It's awesome. I always think those comments are fake.
Yes.
So it's similar. So that, but just like multiplied.
Amazon product reviews are probably fake, probably made by a bot. So that's the dead internet theory, that it's basically every interaction on the internet is fake.
That's so sad. But probably true.
All the more reason to
But
reach
sad.
out to your friends and family in real life and actually have experiences with them. So you
Yeah.
know those experiences are real.
Yeah. Wow.
But if you're a man, not experiences that would bring tears to your eyes, because that is to be avoided.
And make sure those experiences aren't in Vietnam and involve a man cooking.
Yes. No men cooking allowed. Oh. All right.
All right, you two. I think we can call it a show. I hope
Yeah.
everyone enjoyed tonight's episode, and stay tuned next week when we travel back into that wormhole of Reddit. And I hope everyone has a great week. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.